This is The Heat Source, the podcast where we learn everything we can about hot sauce, one bottle at a time. We are your hosts, Mike and Matt, and today we're trying honey habanero from Crusher's Truck Sauce and Scotch Bonnet from Neil's Real Deal Hot Sauce. Let's heat up. Welcome back to The Heat Source, where we learn about new sauces weekly, one bottle at a time. Today we are back to try two sauce brands we've had before. We have actually quite recently, but we wanted to dig back further into their sauce collection. We've got Crusher's Truck Sauce and Neil's Real Deal Hot Sauce. Both are a little bit of tongue twisters for me to enunciate.
Yeah, they're a little bit longer than your normal sauce name.
Well, in Neil's, I always get thrown back to Neil's Real Deal. We did the spicy pickle where I want to say dill, Neil's Real Deal.
Ah, that's funny.
Because that would be a great one. But that sauce, I think, is already gone. The one that
I went through it that night on pizza.
It was a fast one. This one I picked specifically because Scotch Bonnet, this is the original recipe they talked about with their it's a Canadian brand, but talk about their grandparents down in Trinidad. How this was the Scotch Bonnet sauce was the traditional sauce. The Crusher's Truck Sauce, we haven't done Crusher's in a little bit. I did see Fox Solo Spice reviewed this honey habanero, so I was just very intrigued because he had good things to say about it. And
we haven't had a honey habanero in a very long time.
And I mean, typically the go-to is mango habanero. We've had the honey mango habanero. We haven't done only a few with real focused honey in it, so I'm very interested. It does look more honey-esque.
It does.
So I'm excited because
I have very honey-esque.
I have the Mike's spicy, that Mike's honey, hot honey.
Yep.
I've got that. Somebody was recently asking me about what's a good hot maple syrup. He does have a maple syrup. We have not tried that yet, but a hot habanero honey, I could drizzle that on a peanut butter toast. I mean, we'll get into trying it here. But before we do that, because last time I forgot about the game halfway through the episode, we got to play the game, Hot Sauce Maker, NBA Player. You love the NBA almost as much as you love hot sauce, but you just don't know those guys' names very well. You're a face guy, not a name guy. It's fine.
Definitely am.
You're a big fan of all those guys that are leading scorers.
I would say 90% of the time, especially with celebrities. Anytime you've asked me about them, I'm like, I've never heard that name in my life. But you show them to me, I'm like, oh yeah, I know who that is.
Ironically, WNBA, you can name the full roster. It's amazing.
The only one they can.
I didn't realize, I saw the draft for the WNBA and they just listed 14 picks. I'm like, why only 14 picks? Are they not done? And I realized that's how many teams are in the league.
Oh, that's it?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, there's not a lot. There used to be a Detroit team, but I don't know why it left, but it won 2 titles and then Detroit Shock.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, Detroit Shock, and that's what I was when they moved.
Are they still?
Detroit Shock.
Is the Shock still around?
No,
okay.
No, they left a while ago because Bill Laimbeer was the coach. That's a free name for you. You know Bill Laimbeer.
I do. It sounds extremely familiar. Why does that sound familiar?
He was the white guy from the Bad Boys that beat the crap out of Jordan.
Oh, that's right.
He was the most hated NBA player probably for a solid five years.
Because he beat Jordan?
No, because they thought he was a dirty player. He would cheap shot. He would do anything to win, which is why Detroit loved him. But the person I'm going to list here is Bob Pettit.
Bob Pettit.
Fun fact, my great uncle's last name was Pettit. This is not him.
I'm going to go old-timey basketball.
Old-timey basketball, specifically old-timey basketball. You'd be correct.
Nice.
So here's why I picked this guy. What's your favorite thing to say whenever I'm like, oh, here's a basketball player? You're like, oh, he's probably
leading scorer.
He led his team in scoring every season of his career.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
What
year was that? What time frame?
Oh, it was. I think it was 50s or 60s. I just searched Bob. That's not going to do anything. So Bob Pettit was playing, also a Hall of Famer, obviously. But he was playing.
What are the nicknames on there?
In the 50s into the 60s.
Okay.
He was named Big Blue. This is my favorite one. The Bombardier from Baton Rouge. What a fantastic nickname. But yeah, he was leading scorer on his team, every season that he played. I know that Jordan has the most years of being the leading scorer on his team, but I'm wondering if he led the team
every year.
When he was at Washington, I think he might have messed that up. I know in Chicago he was because he was the leading scorer, but that's the only thing I wasn't sure of. No, Jerry Stackhouse took it from him. Former Piston.
Yeah.
Good. Former Piston took that streak away from him. Don't know why I'm so angry about it.
That's fun. I've always wanted a dachshund named Stackhouse. A wiener dog.
Stackhouse is a fun name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A German Shepherd named Daisy, and her sidekick is a wiener dog named Stackhouse.
For some reason, I always wanted to name my dog Murphy or Murph.
Yeah.
But then we got a dog, and it was a female dog. And Murphy still can work, but...
Interstellar.
Yeah.
Murph.
Well, this was way back, so this is before Interstellar. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I thought of.
You could have pioneered that movie.
But then we called her Maggie, and she was a Maggie for sure. But yeah, Bob Pettit, 6'9", power forward center. Played for teams that don't exist anymore.
Yeah, that was back when you took a
St.
jump
Louis
shot
Hawks.
and you got a foul for your feet leaving the ground, right?
It was a much simpler time.
Yeah.
Like now, the big thing on the internet is, hey, look at this play. Was it a travel? Hey, look at this play. Did you carry it? Everything back then was like clearly not, because you're dribbling hand above the ball. A crossover is considered voodoo. And not only do you just not do a pivot foot, you just don't move.
Yeah.
It's just like you dribble or you stop.
Yeah. The alley-oop scene from Semi-Pro's shockingly accurate, where they're like,
foul.
No, 2 fouls.
2 fouls.
Jackie, people can't just go flying through the air like that. That's probably exactly how it went down.
There's one more iconic big man that I know you probably have heard their name in reference to certain things, like to certain basketball drills you probably did in grade school. But I'm going to save that one.
Okay.
I'm going to save that one for a bit, because now that I mention it, I need you to forget about it over the next several episodes.
I can do that.
One of the other things I wanted to mention, we saw the end of the Hot Ones season, the current season. It ended with probably what would be my favorite guest that they've done this season.
Was it Conan?
Conan O'Brien.
I didn't watch it, but I
haven't watched all of it, but he, from the highlights, was a madman. Like
Really?
Eating it when it's not that hot, licking, saucing extra things.
Yeah.
One thing about Conan, I don't know what his heat tolerance is, but listening to him and talk about his comedy and his personality, he commits to the bit as hard as possible to make people laugh.
Yeah.
So it's something where he probably was in a lot of pain, but he was just like, this will be funny if I swipe up this sauce. And,
Yeah.
which is also why he says he doesn't do drugs. Because like, oh yeah, people think this is funny. And then
yeah, he's got a couple really funny highlight reels on YouTube.
Oh, I love Conan. Conan's my favorite late night host. I know there's other ones that have longer careers, better ratings, whatever it is. That's my late night host.
Yeah. I was talking to my grandma. She passed away years ago, but I was talking to her one time. She's like, do you watch Conan at all? And she said it kind of like chipper.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like she was going to tell me she likes that guy. And I'm like, not really. Like, I'm not really into late night talk shows, but like, I don't mind him, if I see him on. And she like did a 180 change. She's like, I hate that guy. Can't stand him. And like, just left it at that. I'm like, oh, I'll let him know.
It'd be funny because I feel like Conan's reaction to that would be like, that's pretty much what I hear is either hate that guy or not my thing.
Yeah.
It's like one person's like, hi. You're funny.
That's funny.
No, he definitely was a unique one. Hard to replicate that. There's Jimmy Fallon's kind of cookie cutter where nothing crazy. I mean,
I used to think Jimmy Fallon was funny. Now it's just kind of childish to me.
So I think initially it was fun that Jay Leno was gone and this was like a breath of fresh air, and then the whole Conan situation of how bad that whole fiasco went. So initially everyone's like, oh, Jimmy Fallon's great. Like he's, youthful and energetic and all this. And now it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of done. Some fun games they do. But let's get into the sauces here. Oh, and then I'm trying to find the seal here. When I mentioned it to you, and I'll mention it on the episode because I'm going to start, it's going to be a 3-month project. I need to start organizing a wing lineup for mild to medium heat, not enthusiasts, heat tolerances, because Angela's brother has agreed that we should do a wing lineup at their family gathering in August. But I have to do like, instead of slowly ramping up, I have to do like the first 5 or 6 are just very moderate. And then 3 challenge ones of like, okay, here's where we're going to step it up. I already know stanky sauce barbecue. That's number 1.
Yeah. You should do more like a roulette style. Be like, 9 of these are really mild.
I want
1 of these is going to hurt.
So it depends on how many wings. If I have a lot of wings I'm trying to get through, I'm not going to try to scare them off. But if it's like, hey, we have limited wings, like, all right, roulette's out. Who wants to risk it? Let me pull this tab. There was no perforation, so. So this one we're going to do first is the Crusher's honey habanero hot sauce. And then on this bottle, minimal ingredients: water, honey, habanero peppers, cider vinegar, garlic, salt, sweet onions, xanthan gum, and sodium benzoate. Let's open this.
That was nice.
I wish I was holding it closer to the microphone. I did. I'm just holding it
way
here.
Away from me.
Man, you can smell the habanero peppers. It smells like it's going to be pretty warm.
It smells sweet.
Yeah, let's see. Consistency wise, it's pretty thin. Oh no, it's got a good honey consistency.
It's like a warm honey consistency.
Yeah, warm honey. So it's not, the honey I have in the jar in my cupboard is rock solid. I got to warm it up. This is, once you've warmed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
There's your wing sauce.
Yeah.
Man, that's really good. Definitely sweet, but it's well balanced with the heat.
So the sweet hits you right up front. That honey, obviously, it's one of the key ingredients.
Yeah, this is good.
But then that warmth is just kind of low build.
That'd be really good on wings.
I think the honey and the sweet onion obviously is a very good combination. Man, that's good. I would put this on toast in the morning. Have a little honey drizzle.
That would be good.
You can put it on a little vanilla ice cream, put a little sweetener on there. I'm trying to think of what else I put on. I mean, the wings. The wing is a slam dunk.
I would just go as many wings as I could go.
Like, what's the
good.
honey one from Buffalo Wild Wings? There's like one of the higher heats where it has that honey, like
honey jalapeno or something.
Something where it's got a more syrupy consistency on it.
Is it the jam and jalapeno?
No, I have to check. But this is one where I like this heat balance better with the sweetness. This is a very easy sauce to almost just drink.
Yeah.
Put it on fried chicken. Do like a honey fried chicken. You ever do that where you do like a chicken and waffles and you toss the little bit of honey on that fried chicken?
I don't think I've ever had chicken and waffles.
You ever had chicken and waffles?
I don't think so.
That's fine. That's fine.
On a hot chicken sandwich.
Yeah,
this would be really good.
Yeah, you get a Hancock's chicken sandwich with no sauce on it. Drizzle this over top.
Dip your own. Yeah.
Dip it with a biscuit. I'm thinking like anything on Popeye's menu.
A biscuit. Yeah.
Yeah. God, that sounds good.
Just roll into KFC with this bottle.
So I've had the Mike's Hot Honey, and that is very much like honey with like a little bit of like chili pepper, like a little bit of chili taste to it. This is well above that. Let's see. I'm thinking of the consistency of the mango habanero. I think that has like a honey, like sticky consistency, but it doesn't have. It's not mango. Maybe they changed the flavors.
They have a honey.
These flavors are so different.
Yeah, they've been changing them up a lot lately.
But no, this is, any type of breakfast. Put it with a biscuit. Put it with some fried chicken. Put it with drizzle on toast. Like do a peanut butter instead of jelly. Just do peanut butter and hot honey. I would do that. Dang, that's good. Take another spoonful here.
You know what I like? The consistency definitely, like it's like a cold, warm honey, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's like the honey that's heated up, that kind of consistency, much, much thinner.
Yeah. I like that you're getting a lot of sweetness out of it, but you're not getting blown away like you just took a huge glob of just straight up honey. It's cut well with everything in there. I think I do get a lot of onion in that too. That onion helps. Yeah,
I think the onion helps because it could be, you could get overblown with the sweetness, but I think with the heat of the habanero, that onion and garlic give it some of the more, is it earthy flavors or just something to ground it a little bit better to where then it's just not just, hey, I'm throwing peppers and honey and that's calling it a day. So it does give it a little bit of balance there.
Oh man, this would be good on a kind of like a Napoli style pizza. Or any pizza, I guess. Honestly, or goat cheese pizza.
Doing a drizzle of honey over a pizza I've seen.
Wait a minute.
This would be
goat cheese pizza or just a charcuterie board.
Yeah.
That'd be great for that.
This is another one of those charcuterie accents where you get a little cheese and cracker going. You throw a drizzle bit of honey on there. I'm just looking at, I just said drizzle honey. I want to know what foods they just kind of top it. But yeah, pizza is one of them that I think would be so good. Let's get into some facts on this. So again, before we get into that, again, crusherstruckstop.com is the website. Crusher's Truck Sauce is the Facebook and Instagram. This is a veteran-owned company. They're based out of Fort Benning, Georgia. We tried their original sauce, which again did not last long. This one will probably be even a shorter time span. I might have to get some fried chicken and biscuits today for lunch. That might be a problem, a good problem. But let's get into the facts. Do you want to go first on this fact, or do you want to go second on there?
I'll go first on this one.
Okay.
So are you aware that, like, picture a honeybee, like your classic?
Got it.
Okay. You looked at the ceiling, like there was one above you.
Oh yeah, I got different hives of different bees. Yeah. My bee, what's the box that holds the bees for like a beekeeper?
Beehive? Bee box?
Is it called a beehive? Just the box that the beekeepers usually have all the sheets of.
I guess I don't know. I've always called them just bee boxes.
Okay. Well, I got bee boxes up there. Okay. I got bee boxes there, and then I got beat boxes over.
Yeah.
A beat box and a bee box. Room, yeah. A bee box and beat box.
So, did you know that those honeybees are actually domesticated honeybees?
No.
Yeah. So pretty much.
No, I'm disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
They're not.
Okay. Well, whether you like it or not,
okay.
When you picture that classic honeybee, those are domesticated, and they were domesticated 5,800 years ago. So they're literally the equivalent of like cattle, which is pretty wild.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't think about it, but yeah, they're just domesticated. And the ones in the U.S., in Canada and Mexico, I'm sure, those are all European domesticated honeybees. Like we have or had.
Yeah.
We had bees in the States. I think they went extinct.
I know that bee extinction is a big conversation piece in general.
Right. But these domesticated bees have essentially colonized the world, essentially. So, bees are pretty interesting. It's quite the rabbit hole to go down if you want to.
It's always a tough thing because with the different types of bees, and obviously there's bees and then there's wasps and there's all the different, hornets and all that. Whenever I see a bee in the house, my first instinct is like, oh, kill it. And then I'm like, should I have let that go? Should I just like further damage the ecosystem? There was a huge like bumblebee.
Really?
Like it was probably as big as my thumb.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids freaked out. So I rolled over it with a scooter and I rolled over it once and I'm like, I think it's fine. So I had to roll over it.
Like you caught a little air off from it.
Yeah. It threw me off. Where it was just so big. I was like, it's just instinct. Usually I let them outside whenever, like, and especially like in nature, like when someone's like, snake, kill it. I'm like, no, it's fine. Just throw it into the.
I can't wrap my head around people that like will walk over and chop a snake in half with a shovel. Like, what's it doing to you?
I've had people that freaked out. They're like, there's a snake outside. I'm like, okay.
That's where it should be.
Like, oh my gosh, there's a person in a house. It's their habitat. So
cut them in half quick.
Yeah. And then it's like, I think one person I think did like cut a snake in half, then they threw it in. I'm like, okay, just throw it into the woods. Like, what if it's still alive? I'm like, I have to reattach.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it's not a chicken with a head cut off. It doesn't keep going for a while. Or what's the seafood where you pour like this dish you see where you pour something over it and then it like the tentacles?
It's probably just octopus.
Reanimate.
It's probably just like the muscles contracting.
Yeah, it's freaky.
Yeah.
Also, just speaking of different like seafood dishes, we talk about going on location for oysters one of these times, which these aren't oyster sauces, but there's another restaurant that came out down in Portage that Clark from Scoville posted about. That looks good. Now it's all Chicago style. I'd find something to put this honey on, but
you make another work.
Yeah. I mean, give me a side of bread. I'll be happy. All right. So you'll never guess what I went for my fun fact.
Habanero.
No, that would have been
trucks.
No, the only other thing that's involved
honey.
In this. Yeah. Honey.
Okay.
So I've done honey before. We've talked about different things on honey. I couldn't remember if we've done the conversation about like how long a honey or a bee can run off of like the smallest amount of like honey, which was interesting. But I went into the healing capabilities of honey. So did you know the ancient civilizations discovered the healing magic of honey thousands of years ago, and today modern science has backed up its claims. One of the particular honeys, buckwheat honey, boasts strong antioxidant properties, but when applied to wounds, it aids in preventing infections and speeds up the healing process. It's even used as a topical treatment for minor burns and wounds in some medical practices. The antioxidant thing, or like, hey, like this has health benefits, that didn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's like actually applied, like, hey, like I got road rash, but like, let's slather some honey on there.
Right. I guess it makes sense because the preservative properties of it naturally, you know. I'm just picturing having like a gash on my arm, and the last thing I'd want to do is be like, hey, squeeze honey into it.
Yeah. It's just like we got to go to KFC. Why? I need some of those honey packets.
Cut my arm, pull into KFC a second.
The with like putting the honey on there, it's kind of in the same vein as there's that guy, I forget what his name is. It's the one that's animal diet. He like boasts like don't eat vegetables, kill, you know, all that stuff. And he boasts, you know, eat red meat, organs like liver and heart, and then like honey. But all of it's like do like the unpasteurized honey, like do raw dairy, do raw honey, do all this stuff. Well, he talks about like, hey, yeah, just take this natural thing and just slather it on. Like one of them was, yeah, just put beef tallow on your skin. It protects you. It just has natural benefits.
You're gonna stink and go rancid.
Just don't wash your hair with shampoo and all those chemicals. Just put eggs in your hair.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you have to smell so terrible. At least with honey, it's like, other than attracting, you know, bees or bears or whatever, you're gonna Winnie the Pooh following me around, just chasing after me, like, come here, you little honey pot. I don't know what the risk would be there, but I'm just like, at least that one would smell better. But also, like my dog, like she'll shake and like some hair will fly off or just stick to that honey.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Honey arm. That's the only thing. Is like, yeah, these are natural things, but then I have to like protect it from getting all gross and weird. And
yeah, we've got a golden retriever without honey all over my skin. I get all that hair sticking to me. I can't imagine what I would look like. I'd look like a dog myself.
Yeah, I've seen.
I covered myself in honey and then rolled around on my floor, which is wild because, I mean, we probably vacuum 3 times a week.
Yeah. And
then, you know, someone opens the door, a breeze comes in, and all of a sudden you see like a chihuahua-sized hairball go floating by.
I mean, my kids don't need the honey. Anything that they eat becomes sticky and just is like spots.
Yeah.
Over their face, their arms, whatever it be. God, that's good.
It's funny. Our daughter, she is definitely getting, you know, how baby arms are really short and they normally can't like reach anything.
Yeah.
She's definitely elongating as she gets older. She'll take like her sticky food hands and now she's like grabbing the back of her head. So it's like I go to wipe her face and then I pick her up and I look at the back of her head and it's like, oh, you have pasta in your hair on the back of your head that I didn't see.
Don't mind me. I'm just looking up plates of chicken. Honestly, the biscuit has me equally excited as the chicken on this.
Yeah. Oh, so Hancock, they've got that. It's the.
Yeah, Hancock is a local Grand Rapids chicken place. The website says Nashville heat meets Michigan neat. Yeah. Don't know what Michigan neat is.
I don't know, but it rhymes. I guess it works.
Neato burrito.
They have the jalapeno cornbread. This would go really good on there.
That would be good. My buddy makes a jalapeno cornbread when we do different like potlucks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
this would be good.
I will say, as someone who loves chicken sandwiches and had them, I don't want to say all over the country, but in several states, I think this is the best chicken sandwich that you can get.
So I'm not going to argue it, but my favorite chicken sandwich is the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Is it?
Yeah. Have you had the Popeyes chicken sandwich?
Maybe a long time ago. I haven't been there in
First
years.
of all, if it's maybe a long time ago, then you haven't had
Okay. Sorry.
I think that might have to be the lunch option because they also have biscuits. They have the biscuits. Get yourself a chicken sandwich. But the only problem is they have a good spicy mayo that they put on theirs.
Yeah.
But if you want to do a hot honey chicken sandwich, you'd want to hold that, and then you wouldn't get the full experience. So you wouldn't be judging the sandwich in its proper state.
There was one Popeyes that the one I would go to. They always screwed up the order, but in the best way. Your order would be wrong, but you would have more items than you ordered in the bag. And it was my favorite place to go. It was awesome.
I got a dessert one time where I was just like, I didn't need this, but
yeah, they always have like crazy desserts or like red velvet cake and stuff.
Yeah, Popeye's not a sponsor, but I would be okay with it. If Popeyes were to sponsor, I mean, again, not a sponsor, just one of the makers of a delicious crispy chicken sandwich, spicy or regular, biscuit breaded shrimp. And I got
that transition reminded me of Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, I got to work on the pitches. Delicious desserts, including Oreo cheesecake cup, strawberry biscuits, cinnamon apple pie, and strawberry cheesecake cup again.
Oh man.
Oh, is it lunchtime?
Not yet.
All right, let's get in the score.
Yeah, what'd you have?
So heat on this I have is a 2 out of 5.
I had 2.
It's got a nice low heat. It's a lingering heat. It's not going to burn you out. We've had quite a few spoonfuls. I would be curious if I slathered this on a biscuit, how hot that could get if you really kind of douse something with it. For the score out of 100, I had this as an 88.
I had 89. That's
We're
very
really
good.
Close.
Yeah.
It's just a really good, I mean, it's nothing crazy. There's no like levels to the flavor. You get that honey sweetness up front, that heat builds and lingers. The onion and garlic helps balance it to where it's not too over the top sweet, but it is still a honey sauce. But it just works really well, and it makes me even more excited about trying the maple syrup when we eventually do another order here. So well done on the Crusher's Truck sauce. Let's get into. This sounds like sounds odd. Let's get into the real deal. Neil's real deal. No, this honey is the real deal. It's legit. So I don't know where to put it. All right. So this is the Scotch Bonnet sauce. This one has it rated out of 4 out of 5 on the heat scale. Again, Neil's Real Deal. It's pretty easy. NeilsRealDeal.com. Neil's Real Deal on Instagram and Facebook. Neil's Real Deal is hard to say that many times in a row.
This is the R's. This is the original recipe, right?
So I believe this is. So they talk about Scotch Bonnet sauce was the original sauce. So I believe it is. Let me read the little excerpt here. The fresh and rich flavor of Neil's Real Deal sauces come from the simplicity of our natural ingredients in the original 100-year-old Scotch Bonnet pepper sauce recipe, with humbling beginnings in a kitchen in Trinidad. Neil's great-grandma, better known as Granny, developed the Scotch Bonnet pepper sauce using only the best natural ingredients, no added preservatives or anything artificial. The legacy continues to this day with all our products using only wholesome, healthy, and natural ingredients, just like Granny did. Again, cauliflower-based hot sauce. That was one of the unique things about the last sauce we tried from them. Cauliflower, onion, cucumber, carrot, Scotch bonnet pepper, mustard, white vinegar, lime juice, garlic, sea salt. Contains mustard. It's in the ingredient list. But yeah, so again, Canadian-based hot sauce company, made and packed in Ontario. Good old Ontario. I like Ontario. Let me see if I can find. Is there the perforation on this one? No perforation.
The sound of you shuffling the glass around. Yeah, there it is.
ASMR. We don't have my daughter to whisper into the microphone this episode so far. Yeah,
I didn't get to that part. I was actually listening to it the other night. Did you leave the parts in of just like the whispers in there?
The everything of her being in the episode, she's in it.
Yeah. I love how secretive she was trying to be and then just totally fogging up that microphone's ear.
I will say, of all my kids, well, my oldest just wouldn't come in here and sit down. She'd be like, "Oh, I'll head out." But between my youngest daughter and my son Mason, we lucked out because Mason would just be like, "Oh no, I'm taking this part off." We looked out because he would be, I'm like, "Hey, I'm doing an episode. Just sit here quietly." Okay, Dad, Dad. I'm like, what? What's 7 plus 8 plus 5? Like, you need to figure out math. I'm so sore still from doing that Ninja Warrior course this weekend. Shaking that actually hurt.
So this weekend I realized how stagnant I have been. We went to the dog park, threw a tennis ball like 4 times, and my dog's just huffing and puffing and lays down. And I'm like, man, you're out of shape. And then later that night, I'm like, damn, my arm hurts, you know? And I realized that me throwing that tennis ball 4 times, I'm probably more out of shape than my dog who ran, 60 yards as fast as she could 4 times in a row. Ooh, it smells very mustardy.
Mm-hmm.
It smells really good.
I don't know if it's like the mustard or vinegar or whatever. I always go to my Polish food.
Right off the bat, it reminds me of a Chicago style hot dog.
Chicago style hot dog is at the Windy City Doghouse in Portage.
I've never seen it look like it fell through the spoon. Did that land on you or on the floor?
It landed on my calf. My calf. So with the cauliflower based sauce, it is a thicker sauce. It has a good, more relishy consistency. So it's easy to put, like when we had the other one, it had the similar texture. It was easy to put on food. It's just hard to aim it on a specific, like, small tasting spoon. Right. So I think he used to have it in jars, and I'm like, that would have been a lot easier. But let's try this.
Definitely get a lot of the cauliflower.
So you get the cauliflower, you get a little bit of the mustard.
I'm gonna lick the old score sheet here.
Oh yeah, you did put a lot on there.
There's a huge glob on there.
It's paper. It's trees. It's fine.
Man, that is a hot dog sauce.
Yeah, I would say that any kind of mustard. I mean, throw that on a deli sandwich.
It's not as hot as I thought it was going to be, but it is very good. It's almost got like to me, it tastes a lot like pickled cauliflower.
So it has that flavor to it.
Oh, fudge.
You're going to be licking that sheet.
That's very good. I
think
the cauliflower gives it a very unique consistency.
The cauliflower, the cucumber, I think you get those flavors. You get the mustard.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the texture of it. It's, again, hard to put on the tasting spoon, but it is a good one when I would smother it on a dish. I would throw this on, we do like, kind of like instead of nachos, we do like cheese fries, and we'll throw a bunch of stuff on there. I throw this on some cheese fries. We just did last night with hot dogs. I put it on both of those items.
Yeah.
But no, that one's...
Man, I really like that one too.
It's just...
that one I could go straight tortilla chip with.
Yeah, this one...
And just do the full bottle.
Yeah, the hot honey, or the honey habanero, that one's more of like a biscuit sauce. This is more of a tortilla chip sauce. Right? Yeah, you can put this in a bowl and just kind of dip your chips and enjoy that. It's really good.
What'd you have for a fact on this one?
So for this one, I went with some facts, or a fact about Trinidad. So, did you know? So, how many instruments do you think have emerged in the 20th century?
Instruments in the 20th century?
Musical instruments.
In the 20th century. Music's pretty old. This is either going to be shockingly low or shockingly high. I don't think there's going to be like an in between. I'm going to go with.
It's always a fun fact when the answer is very average.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay.
6.
1.
Really? I knew it was going to be shockingly low or shockingly high.
The only one
so I went average.
that emerged in the 20th century was the steel pan. Was the only new acoustic instrument that emerged in the 20th century.
Is that the Jamaican sounding?
It's a Jamaican sounding one, but it originated in Trinidad.
Okay.
And so in the 1930s, people started. So let me preface this. The drums were banned at one point in Trinidad.
Really?
Because after the abolishment of slavery, there was worries that the drums would be used as part of the protest, the protest to that. So they banned drums.
Wow.
So then in the 1930s, people started experimenting with garbage lids, beating biscuit tins, and steel. The steel pan was born from just that mutation from there. The pan continued to develop, particularly with the proliferation of oil drums in the 1940s, and it is a national instrument.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. So they banned drums, and they said, no, we're still going to drum.
Yeah. Really good things are almost always born of like really effed up situations.
Either effed up or just like restriction.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't do this. It's like, well, we're going to figure something out.
So it's like really, it's weird to appreciate something that stems from a lot of misfortune.
Yeah. Perfect pour.
Yeah. That one was good. But that's wild.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Both that's the only instrument, and then just also the origin story of that.
Mm-hmm. So I also went with Trinidad. Okay. There's a city called La Brea. Are you familiar with that?
No, but I think there's a street called La Brea that has been referenced before. Because then somebody like from the Bronx was like, I've got something in La Brea right here, pointing to their fists.
I don't know.
It's stuck in my head now.
Okay.
I'll find it.
But there's a town called La Brea, and that town has the largest natural asphalt lake in the world. You need to look this up. It's really wild.
I saw something about an asphalt lake. I shouldn't have stopped the word right there.
Saw something about ass.
Yeah, that was a different search. But no, I saw something about the asphalt, like one of the largest asphalt something. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah, it's literally just a lake of asphalt. It's 100 acres, which is huge. Mm-hmm. 250 feet deep, and it's like if you think of like the dinosaurs or something getting stuck in a tar pit. Mm-hmm. It's exactly what this looks like. And it's called Pitch Lake. Like, look at the stick. Go to that next photo. There's a guy dipping the stick in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, how wild is that? It looks like you've seen the movie Land Before Time.
Yes.
Sarah gets trapped in the tar pit.
Traumatized.
Yeah.
Traumatized by that movie.
That's exactly what it is. Which I also find it interesting in...
Top 3 most traumatizing movie for me as a kid.
Really?
I mean, just like the emotional
the sadness of,
connection to it.
So actually, I looked into that, and there was they had a psychologist watch the movie, mm-hmm. and they said, hey, like, his mom dies on screen, and, you know, like, what's this going to do to little kids? And so the psychiatrist suggested that they throw in, you know, like the grandpa dinosaur that comes rolling by, mm-hmm. and it's like, well, you know, you always carry her in your heart, you know. So they threw that in there as, I guess, like a life lesson in that movie because of how traumatizing, even for adults, to have Littlefoot's mom die, like, on camera.
I'm trying to think of one of the other ones is just the whole movie of Return to Oz. Yeah, I showed you clips of that.
I saw a clip of that, and it traumatized me as an adult.
Some pretty solid nightmare fuel. And then the third one I would say is Neverending Story.
I used to like that movie. I watched it as an adult, and it's much creepier than I remember as a kid.
When the horse dies in the pit of despair?
I don't remember that.
Blocked it out for a good reason.
Oh, okay.
Kids literally trying to, because the horse just gave up its will to live.
Gosh, I don't remember that. I
don't want to watch. Pit of despair.
No. Huh.
Yeah. Deal with that one. Yeah. If you see any meme with a white horse in what looks like this asphalt pit, honestly, or this asphalt lake, if you see anything where there's a horse sitting in that asphalt lake with someone trying to pull it out, it's like, yeah, that's a traumatizing moment of childhood.
I would love to know what kind of animals got sucked into that and are just preserved at the bottom.
I just told you about a traumatizing animal getting sucked in, and you're just like, I'd love to know which ones are in this one.
Well,
that's not real. I want to know the real.
Yeah, exactly.
The real toll.
In downtown LA, they have LA, California, they have the La Brea tar pits. Mm-hmm. Literally in the middle of downtown LA, you can go to the center, and there's these tar pits where they have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, probably in the tens of thousands of like Pleistocene animals that got sucked into these tar pits. Mm-hmm. And they're constantly excavating and pulling all these bones out, like saber-toothed cats in downtown LA from these natural tar pits. So I would think there's some pretty wild stuff. Maybe a white horse trapped at the bottom of this.
No, it's interesting. We'll put a photo of like the one with they're holding a stick to show that. I don't know why I never really thought about the natural like a natural deposit of asphalt. I'm always just like if you think of asphalt, I'm just like, yeah, asphalt driveways.
Yeah, the man-made stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute. That's like if someone's like, hey, you ever seen like the biggest natural, a collection of concrete? It's like, no.
I'm pretty sure that's up in the Alpena, Michigan area.
Is it really?
I think it's that's one of like the largest concrete factories or something.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So the thing I find interesting on this sauce, that Scotch Bonnet heat is not strong, which probably makes sense why it is such a popular original recipe. It's such a popular sauce for people to try because you could have a wide variety of people try it and not feel as burned out by it.
Yeah.
I saw on his Instagram, on Neil's Real Deal Instagram, they did avocado toast, avocado, egg,
steak.
Threw some steak on there, and then threw their Scotch Bonnet sauce.
Yeah, that looks really good.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean,
is that the Neil?
I think that's the Neil.
Nice.
But that's the thing with a lot of these sauces. I make a dish, and then there's a sauce that I'm like, well, this goes with it, but I'll grab an extra sauce just to say, okay, let's throw something extra on there and see how it goes. And most of the times I'm pleasantly surprised. There's a lot of times that it works really well. A couple times it's like, it's kind of odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, I mean, he has it thrown on avocado toast. I'd throw it with any type of Polish dish. I mean, you put it on a side with kielbasa or put it with some pierogies. Any of that pickliness really lends itself to, the Polish dishes that I love. Man, steak, egg, and avocado.
Oh,
I'm just hungry. I didn't have breakfast.
Watch that video like 10 times. What'd you have for a score on this one?
So for this one, for heat, I had it as a low 2.
Yep.
Again, it's just nothing's lingering that's making you sweat. You could really douse this on something. I feel like you would be fine. The score I had on this was a 74.
I had 83.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a really good sauce. I enjoy this sauce. Oh, Mike just got up and left.
Sorry, my back hurts.
He just walked out of here. I was really hoping that your stomach would just rumble right there because it would have been like special guest this week is Mike's hunger. But I really like that sauce. Obviously, anything above 50 we recommend to buy. So, we've never had anything close to 50 on the show. So. I think it will happen if like people are like, hey, just try this sauce and like give it an honest score. And it's like, okay.
If someone has a really bad sauce, not like spoiled, but just a sauce.
Yeah, nothing that would kill us or make us sick.
And it has to be your own sauce. And it has to be something that you're willing to.
That's where I get nervous where there's sauce people that like, I just started my own sauce company. Like, here's the one to try. And I don't think, here's the thing with our rating system. This is what we think of it. There are sauces that we've probably had that we love that other people like, it's okay. We had was it the hop sauce that we thought was great, and then Courtney tried, and she was like,
"Yeah, it just didn't hit right with it."
So it's like our rating. If it's high, that's great. We enjoy it. If it's low, just because it's not for us, the bottom 25 of our score, not for us, maybe for you.
Yeah,
it's it varies so much. But if someone had a brand new sauce, that would be my worry. It's like if you want the first person to review it to go, meh.
Yeah,
that would be. And at this point, it's almost scary where it's like we've done countless sauces, over 100 sauces. And if we have the first sauce to get a low score would be like the DJ Khaled of hot ones. It's like he didn't even make it halfway. Like it didn't even get to 50.
Did he really not? I didn't watch that one.
No, it's an old one, but he quit. He won't say that he quit, but he quit I think at like 3 or 4.
That's embarrassing.
And it was back when like they didn't curate them as much, but that also meant that there was a lot more generic sauces.
Yeah,
but
he should be ashamed of himself.
I'll play the clip for you later today. I'll find the clip where once he stops, then there's a conversation of he's like, I never quit. He's like, well, Sean's like, you quit here. It's like, no, I did not. I knew what's best for myself. There's a difference. It's like knowing what's best for yourself. You could still quit because you know what's best for you. Like it was this whole conversation where I'm just like,
you're not helping yourself.
I didn't have a big wealth of knowledge about DJ Khaled before that.
Yeah.
But after that, I was just like, guy kind of just talks his way out of whatever he wants it to be.
Yeah.
And also he just loves to say his name in songs. So, it's all right. But yeah, the Neil's Real Deal sauce, Again, neilsrealdeal.com, Neil's Real Deal on Instagram and Facebook. Have a few special thanks here to mention before we wrap up the show. Special thanks to Summit 6 Design for any graphic or logo design needs. They designed our logo. Reach out to them. A happy anniversary to Hook and Arrow on 2 years in the industry. They just did a giveaway. Just announced their giveaway recently. I don't know if it's still running, but they had a giveaway for their 2-year anniversary of their business being going. I mean, very slow start for these guys. I mean, just, from hit the ground at a snail's pace, just winning awards.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm excited to see what they do. I just reminded me that I need to restock on our supplies from them. And then this one, I saw this on the local For the Love of Hot Sauce Facebook group yesterday. One of the original admins that was a part of that group for the longest time, Chris Duncan, had passed away. So they, on that group, have listed his GoFundMe for his funeral and for his expenses for his family. They're making it into a raffle to where if you donate $10 or more to the GoFundMe and you screenshot it, the instructions are in the original post. I can link it in the episode description. You do get entered into a raffle, which the raffle items, they're kind of insane packages. And people keep adding, where I see in the comments, people keep saying, count me in for something else. Count me in for, adding something else to it. So there's a lot of prizes. And honestly, I mean, even I saw a lot of people that just said, hey, I donated. I don't want to be in the raffle. I just, wanted to, contribute. Mikey V's contributed to it. Like, there's sauce makers that are contributing. This guy's been a staple in the hot sauce groups and the communities for a very long time. So again, that was Chris Duncan. We'll tag the giveaway. I think it runs till April 30th. So there's still time to do this, because this episode's going to be coming out, I say next week. We're currently on the 16th. So this will be coming out at that time, but yeah, $10 or more to participate. Once you've donated, screenshot the donation to enter. The original post was by Melissa. Raffle runs until April 30th. And then just some of the prizes they listed. One of the prizes was High Desert Heat's whole lineup, United Sauces Motley Crue set, Lucky Dog 4-pack variety, and hat and enamel pin, Hotter Than Hell case of sauce, Wicked Provisions 4-pack of sauce. That's one prize. Mm-hmm. That's one person.
That's a lot of sauce.
Yeah. One other one, Angry Irishman pack of sauces and pint glasses, Mikey V food surprise package, Halogi 8-pack of all different flavors, Clown on Fire 3-pack, Angry Goat 5-pack hot ones. I mean, this is something where, so I donated, but I did not include us in the raffle because of obvious reasons of how much sauce we currently have.
Yeah.
But it is something where, again, for Chris Duncan from the For the Love of Hot Sauce community, go ahead and check that out, and we'll post it in the description. And then again, special thank you for everyone listening. However you listen, we do appreciate you. Follow us on Instagram at The Heat Source Podcast for all updates. Send us a message on there or email us at theheatsourcepod@gmail.com for any feedback, requests, or any other comments. And then tune again next week when we try sauce from a familiar brand with a limited release run. That's the clue I'm giving.
I don't even know what it is.
Mystery. In the words of Madonna, life is a mystery. See ya.
Yo, bro, is yours different than mine?
No. If you want to switch, we could switch. But...
I want to switch.
All right. Hot ones first.
Something ain't right. Okay. No,
Here you go.
Listen, and I'm going to tell you something right now for all my fans. I promise you, if I stop, doesn't mean I gave up.
Yes, it does.
Mm-mm.
By definition.